The following program contains explicit American history. If you suffer from stupidity, Randall may not be right for you. Check with your revisionist historian.
Standing for truth in the four corners of America. Fighting for justice on the frontiers of the culture wars. And turning resistance into an art form. The only TV host arrested more times than Mahatma Gandhi, Randall Terry.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of Randall Terry, the voice of resistance. It's finally over. The Iowa caucus. We can all breathe a deep sigh of relief. We can crown our new presidential nominee from the Republican Party. We can say goodbye to all of the losers. No? You mean it's not over? It's just the beginning. We're going to talk about it in today's program. Today's show brought to you in part by Michelle Bachmann, giving an object lesson of how you can go from the top of the polls in Iowa to the bottom of the heap. And by John Huntsman for president. Hey, he didn't even spend any money. He didn't even fight. And he's hanging out down there at the bottom with Michelle Bachmann. I'll be right back after a quick word from my friend, Sir Reginald Bling.
Just turn the thing on. I got something to say. Herman Cain, you have sinned. Oh, yes, you have sinned, my brother. And now you are going to pay the price. Now, I'm not talking about some allegation about this woman or that woman. That's a sin. We all know that. I don't know what even happened. I wasn't there. The sin you have committed is that you are a black man running in a white man's club. You had the audacity to take on Mitt Romney and Rick Perry. You had the audacity to leave the Democratic plantation and to run as a conservative, pro-life Republican. Have you looked in the mirror lately? Have you seen the color of your skin? You are black, and the political racists and the political segregationists are going to beat you like they beat up Clarence Thomas. So I'm telling you right now, get ready to take your butt whooping because you have sinned against the big, powerful establishment. Whoa.
Welcome to the program, friend. It's finally here, the moment you've all been waiting for, when we can now turn our eyes from the lonesome 99 counties of Iowa, the 1,700 plus precincts, and we can go on with our lives. But we can't, because it won't stop. Somebody stop this process, please. Please. All right, a moment of sobriety, please. You've got your winner. Oh, yeah. You've got your second place. You've got your third place. And then you've got those that are left floundering around at the bottom of the pile. But fear not, O thou American voter. Fear not, O thou person who is avoiding this primary process at all costs. Because it's just the beginning. Yes, no one's dropping out. People are setting their sights on New Hampshire. This one is looking at South Carolina. This one is looking at Utah. This is never going to stop. It just isn't. All right, on a serious note, do you understand that the earliest that a Republican candidate could wrap up the bid for the presidency is the end of April? That's if somebody wins just about every single primary. You see, the Republican Party, who sets up these rules, has decided that most of the states are not going to be a winner-take-all, but if you get 30% of the vote, then you get 30% of the delegates. It's proportionate. That makes it interesting. That means that this depends on who's got an organization on the ground, who's collecting signatures, who's raising money, who's traveling, who's buying television spots. Now, the amazing thing is how well Rick Santorum did, coming back from the back of the pack. Fresh life given to him by the evangelical community. But guess what? In New Hampshire, there's not much of an evangelical voting base. Now, So he will now focus on South Carolina. Mitt Romney, who is the former governor of Massachusetts, he is a neighboring state governor, so he's spending time in New Hampshire, hoping that he wins New Hampshire. Other candidates are basically going to sit there and try and decide, what can I do next? Who can I go to raise money? Who believes in my campaign? Because for a campaign to survive at the presidential level, where you have staff, travel expenses, press release expenses, where you're trying to get buzz, where you're trying to create momentum, if you don't have money, you're done. And the problem is, after these first few states, this race is going to quickly pare down. Perry, he's going to stay in for a while. Romney, he's going to stay until the bitter end. Gingrich, he will stay in to the end. Rick Santorum, if he does not take South Carolina and does not do well, perhaps in Ohio, but for sure if he doesn't do well in South Carolina, he will withdraw from the race. Michelle Bachmann will withdraw from the race. John Huntsman will withdraw from the race. Ron Paul, he will stay in until close to the end. The reason is because Ron Paul has money and he has an infrastructure. He has people on the ground that believe in him and that believe in his message. So, the people that are going to get out quickly, Michelle Bachmann, John Huntsman, probably Rick Santorum. The people who are going to stay in this for a while, for sure Romney, then Newt Gingrich, Ron Paul, Rick Perry. And it's just not going to end. It's not going to end for a while. So we're going to see more of the Republicans cannibalizing each other, literally gnawing away at each other's political flesh, while Obama sits there on the sidelines and just skates through this entire process. All right, let me change topics ever so slightly. While you watch this, due to the incredible technological advances that we have enjoyed in the television industry, namely tape, I'm now not sitting here at my desk. I'm actually up in Maine or Boston or New Hampshire campaigning. Yes, if you want to have just a little bit of political fun, take a minute and Google my name, Randall Terry, in a news search and check out for yourself some of the press that we have gotten up in New Hampshire, up in Maine, and even in Boston. And I think that you're going to be impressed. My purpose, obviously, in running for the presidency is not to win, but my purpose is so that we can have a discussion, so that we can have a debate that crescendos in the media world dealing with these so-called social issues, namely the killing of our children, the homosexual marriage movement, and the threat of Islamic Sharia law. These are things that perhaps, from heaven's vantage point, are actually more important than we might like to imagine. I'm going to take a break. When we come back from this break, I want to talk to you about Tim Tebow and some of the more disturbing news that I have heard in quite a while. Don't go away.
Randall just left for a vacation and has been amazed at the amount of highway construction taking place high in the air. Will we be needing control towers to handle the traffic in large cities? Maybe even to the point of having holding pattern loops during those times.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylea Health and Energy. I've been making superb nutritional supplements for over 15 years, and from day one, I've partnered with Randall Terry, helping to fund his invaluable work in reclaiming our country's biblical and godly roots. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives since its inception.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 essential areas of nutrition your body needs on a daily basis. Each serving of the Total Living Drink provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, enzymes for better digestion and nutrient absorption, protein for building lean muscle mass so you can burn more fat for fuel, probiotics for better intestinal function, herbs for building energy and stamina, antioxidants for maximum immune function and disease prevention, and all the vitamins and minerals you need for slowing down aging and maximum health. You would have to take 30 to 40 capsules each day and spend almost $10 a day to match the over 30,000 milligrams of total nutrition in each scoop of the Total Living Drink. Order right now and get started on the amazing Total Living Drink. They come in 2 delicious flavors, Total Living Drink Greens and Total Living Drink Berry. And every single dollar we receive, we give a generous amount to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Visit us online at the address on your screen and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today, and for the daily price of a latte, you can get back on the road to better health and energy with Kylea's Total Living Drink.
Moments with Moses. The Lord will smite you with consumption, and with fever, inflammation and fiery heat, and with drought and mildew.
Welcome back to the program, friend. Everybody on my staff except for me and Andrew, who is standing behind the camera and running back and forth to the control room. Way too much data, Randall. Everyone is still either out campaigning or returning from their Christmas, New Year's break. Most people are campaigning right now. We've got so much going on in this on this team. We've got a man running for the U.S. House on our team against Keith Ellison up in Minnesota. We've got a man running against the Speaker of the House, John Boehner. David Lewis is doing that. Gary Boy-Claire is running up in Minnesota. And I, yours truly, I'm running in a Democratic primary against President Obama. But I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk about Tim Tebow and some of the more disturbing news that I have heard in a long time. Maybe you heard about it. A woman who goes by the pen name Sophia, which of course means wisdom, she writes a blog for a baby-killing website called The Abortion Gang. Now, I confess, I am a Tim Tebow fan. How much of a fan am I? Andrew, don't be mad at me. But when Tebow and the Broncos were playing against the Chicago Bears, there we were, my family, my sons, we were watching the game, and I kept saying, pray, boys, pray hard, pray for them. They need this victory. And there they were. It was great. Well, one of the reasons I love Tim Tebow is because his family is pro-life. They did the best they could with a pro-life television ad a couple of years ago during the Super Bowl. When he scores a touchdown, he's going to go down on his knee. He's going to pray. He's going to give glory to Jesus with his words in an interview. My Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. I love that. I just love this young man. I do. Well, after the Bears win, this pro-abortion female, God have mercy on her soul, she wrote a blog and she encouraged all of her pro-abortion friends to give money to kill babies every time Tim Tebow scored. This woman, Sophia, and the Abortion Gang blog site basically made national news, and I'm talking Fox, CBS, the New York outlets, international news. I saw stuff coming out of England because she was encouraging people to give money to kill babies when Tim Tebow scored a touchdown. Why did she do this? Because she said she felt conflicted because she actually doesn't even like football but just finds herself cheering for Tim Tebow. And Tim Tebow's family ran that horrible pro-life ad that horrible anti-choice group, Focus on the Family, helped to sponsor. And because Tim Tebow is a Christian, and because Tim Tebow's mom talks about the beauty of life and that how abortion is bad, blah, blah, blah. So, to rid her soul of this sense of conflict, she said, I'll cheer for Tim Tebow to score touchdowns, and then I'll give money to people who support abortion. Read Kill Babies. 8 days after she wrote this blog, she wrote another posting in which she talked about helping a young woman who she called Dolores. Dolores was in Arizona and did not have the money to pay for her baby to be killed at 21 weeks. Now, all child killing, whether it's at 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 14 weeks, it's all murder. But intellectually and emotionally, when you kill a viable child, it just seems a little more demonic. It probably isn't ethically, but there's something significantly perverse about killing a baby that is viable. Now, for those of you who don't know what that word viable means, it means can live outside the womb. Every single day in the United States of America, babies are born at 21 weeks and they are saved in neonatal units, okay? And they grow up healthy every day. And here was this woman who set about to raise money to kill children, bragging that she had helped Dolores get the money to murder her baby at 21 weeks gestation. And she went out of her way to say this wasn't an emergency, this wasn't a handicapped child that she didn't want to care for. Just that the type of birth control that this woman was on suppresses her cycle, so she never ovulates and therefore wouldn't miss anything, if you know what I'm talking about, trying to be discreet here for the sake of children. She didn't know she was pregnant until she started to think, wow, I'm gaining all this weight. Maybe she felt her baby kick inside of her, because you can at that point. So here is a woman who at 21 weeks decides, I'm going to kill my baby. And this other woman, God have mercy on her, Sophia, who writes for the abortion gang, who's raising money in Tim Tebow's name to kill babies, she brags that she helped raise the money for this woman to murder her baby. It's a sick world, friends. And our duty is to be a voice for the voiceless. I ask your forgiveness for those of you who weary of hearing about some of these things. And I also ask your forgiveness because I have to look down at my clock, keeping my own time today. But the Bible says to love your neighbor as yourself. And if it was you or me, and it was our life that was on the line, we'd want someone talking about it for our sake. So let's not weary of it, okay? 3,000 human beings in our country being killed every day is news every day. Pray for Tim Tebow. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing about that when I come back from this break. Oh yeah, I've got a response. It's called 40 Cities for Life. And it's got to do with the Super Bowl. And the abortion gang, they're going to rue the day that they did this. I'll be right back. This is harder than it looks.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kylia Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
Victory will never be found by taking the line of least resistance. Sir Winston Churchill. Welcome back to the program, friend. It is I, your servant, Randall. Well, again, I ask you for your prayers. Even as you watch this, I am up somewhere in Maine or New Hampshire or Boston campaigning, getting ready for the New Hampshire primary, where my name is first on the ballot. Oh, yeah. My name is first on the ballot in the Democratic primary. Wouldn't it be fun if I just got like 8% of the vote? Ah, please. Maybe I'll get 1 or 2%. Who knows? We'll find out. We'll keep you posted. Back to Tim Tebow, 40 Cities for Life. This woman, Sophia, who is raising money to kill babies because of Tim Tebow's success, because of his Christianity, because of his family's pro-life commitment, because of his family running the pro-life Super Bowl ad in 2010, they took on the wrong pro-lifer, me. Because I'm running for president, there are 40 cities where I can run a pro-life ad on the Super Bowl, before it in the pregame, after in the postgame, and we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We are going to show the media and America and Sophia and the abortion gang and all of those people exactly what it is that Sophia and the abortion gang are raising money for. We are going to show during the Super Bowl or in the pregame or postgame shows of those 40 cities, we are going to show America exactly what we are doing with our babies. I make no apology for this. None. Some people say, oh, Randall, it's just inappropriate to show these images. Really? You say you're pro-life, right? Can you imagine fighting against anti-Semitism and saying, look, I don't believe in hurting the Jews. I'm absolutely pro-Israel, but we shouldn't show pictures of the Holocaust. Or can you imagine saying, I'm against slavery, but you don't want to show pictures of slaves? I mean, please, it's so inappropriate. I'm a Christian, I love Jesus, but you don't want to show a picture of Jesus, of an art painting of Jesus being crucified. It's so distasteful. It's the truth. And these people, they think it's a game. They hide behind words. They hide behind lies. And sometimes the only way to bring people face to face with reality is to show the truth. Not just talk about it, but to show it. So, we are going to run an ad, 40 Cities for Life, during the Super Bowl. I ask you for your prayers. I ask you for your prayers. I'm worn out. My team is worn out. But we're standing in the public square for the unborn to be a voice for heaven and for the innocent who have no voice of their own. I'll be right back with a word from one of our founding fathers. Oh, those guys were such radicals. Don't go away. If the Lord had not been my help, my soul would soon have dwelt in the land of silence. When I thought, my foot slips, thy steadfast love, O Lord, held me up.
Hi, Joe Costello here, founder of Kailea Health and Energy. I want to share with you a product that has changed hundreds of thousands of lives.
Introducing the Total Living Drinks, Greens and Berry, the ultimate superfood formulas that provide you the 9 daily essential areas of nutrition your body needs. Each scoop provides the life-giving phytonutrients that come from the equivalent of 5 servings of organic vegetables and berries, probiotics for better intestinal function, antioxidants for disease prevention, and vitamins and minerals for establishing maximum health. Order now and get started on the Total Living Drink. When you do, a generous gift will go to Randall Terry's organization to help further his work and further the kingdom. Order online and receive an online discount or call the toll-free number. Call today and enjoy maximum health and energy.
George Washington said, "Persuaded that if ever a crisis should arise to call forth the good sense and spirit of the people, no deficiency in either will be found." I love George Washington, and I wish that we could say that same thing today. That if a crisis happens, we can count on the spirit and the good sense of the American people to rise to the occasion. But I'm afraid we can't. The more I go through this election cycle, the more I see how bread and circuses have debilitated us. The more I see how much we are preoccupied with sports and with gossip and with movies and with TV shows and with games, the Wii and these various killer games that you get. The more I see how much we are distracted by circuses and glutted by our bread, the more I recognize that we have become drunk with our own success and our own prosperity. God, restore us. God, please wake us up.